If you're a data professional, you know most of your time is spent on data prep and discovery. Intugle automates this. Let's see how with an example in Snowflake. So here I am in my Snowflake workspace. I have set up a folder here with my raw data sets. So this is a data set from FMCG data set. And I have my notebook open here. Now, in order to do this demo, you might have to ask your admin to grant you these accesses, both of these here. You can replace this with your role. Now, this is because Snowflake by default does not allow installing third-party packages. So you might have to ask your admin to give you this access. Once you have that, just go to notebook settings over here and make sure it's running on container, the runtime, and make sure you also have PyPy access turned on right here. I already have mine on. So now let's go ahead and install Intugle and SQL Glot. This is needed for the demo. And also let's set up our LLM keys because Intugle behind the scenes has a lot of AI agents running. So you will have to provide your key here. You can check out the documentation on exactly how to provide it. I will be taking mine from the .env files right here. Great. Next, we're going to set our Snowflake parameters. So you can set the Snowflake database and schema here. So this is where our tables are going to be synced into in Snowflake. Now we come to the heart of the library, which is building the semantic model. Now here I have defined all the data sets that I want to use, the ones I showed you in this directory. So this is the FMCG data set. So these are the names and this is the path. And I'm just creating a dictionary of the name to the path. And now I import the semantic model from Intugle. I'm passing in the data sets over here, and I'm defining the domain. Now, the domain is a parameter that helps the AI agent generate contextual business glossaries for your data. So let's go ahead and run this. Now, what happens behind the scene once you start execution is that a bunch of AI agents start profiling your data. They identify the data types, they identify the links between the data sets, they generate glossaries. So this work usually takes around weeks for a data team, and with Intugle, you can achieve it in a matter of minutes. So we'll just let this run for a while. Now, I just want to call out that we just released version 1.0. So if any of you had watched the previous videos, you might have noticed that previously we were using a knowledge builder. Right now, it has been converted to a semantic model. So the terminologies have changed. Similarly, we were using a data product builder, which we have also renamed now to just simply data product. Great. Now that it's done, let's head down and see how we can access this semantic model. So we have all this enriched metadata, which we got by building the semantic model. Let's access a particular table called sales. And we're going to access a property called profiling df. And as you can see, we have all the columns within this table. We have what was the data type that was identified. Was it a dimension or a measure? And we have the business glossaries for a particular columns, all the business tags associated with it. We have some profiling metrics right here, and we have the sample data. Pretty cool. So next, we can also see the links that were predicted between the data sets. So getting the using the dot links property will show you what were the links. You can see all the metrics that was from the links from data set, the two data sets, what is the accuracy and the intersect ratio. And we can also visualize them in a neat connected knowledge graph. So these are all the tables that are connected to each other. Those have links, and this one doesn't seem to have a link. All right, so that's how you can use Intugle to create a semantic model over your data. Now, the fun part, let's sync this with the Snowflake catalog. So we have a ready-made function here. You can just run this. And we'll just give it a couple of seconds. Once it's done, we can head to our catalog in Snowflake. We can open the schema we specified, open the tables, and you have all the tables loaded into Snowflake. And you can open one particular table. Let's open sales. And you can see that we have the generated description loaded here. And if we switch to columns, you can see all the columns here, along with what was the predicted data types, what was the glossaries generated for the columns, along with the tags. And you can switch here and see the preview to these tables as well. Great. This would have easily taken weeks for a data team to manually sit and do this. But with Intugle, you can just create a semantic model over it, build it, and just sync it to your catalog. Now, let's get back. Now, this semantic model is actually stored as YAML files, and you can head back to your catalog and open status, and you can download these YAML files from the semantic layer stage right here. So these are the YAMLs for each of those tables, and this is the YAML that has the relationships. All right. Now that we have built the semantic model, let's see some of the downstream aspects, how to consume from the semantic model. Now, using Intugle, you can create powerful data products where you don't have to specify complex SQL. Instead, you can define your data products in a declarative fashion. So let's see how. Now, let's say I've gone through my semantic model. I know the columns that I need and what functionality I need to build my data product. So I am declaring what I need here. So I'm picking out columns from 3 different tables here. I'm applying aggregate functions on 3 of them, and I'm filtering it for a particular value. I am picking out the economy pricing value from this particular column. And I am also sorting it by a particular column and taking the top 15. So no complex equals to write, no joins to explicitly write. You just declare the data product that you need right here. Let's just run that. And now we import the data product module from Intugle. We pass in this config that we just defined, and we use a toDF function to visualize it. So let's just run this. So Intugle will use the existing semantic model to construct a query and execute and give your data product. Cool. So we can also see what the SQL query looks like. Oops. Yeah. So we can see what the SQL query looks like that was used to build this data product. Great. Now the data product is in itself part of our semantic model, so we can generate glossaries for the data product as well. So let's go ahead and run the same pipelines that we did in the beginning, and let's generate glossaries for these as well. As you can see, we have all the columns from the data products profiled. We have the data types, and we have the glossaries for those columns with the tags and the metrics and the sample values. Cool. Now let's sync this with the Snowflake catalog. We have a convenient function here called create DP in Snowflake. Let's go ahead and run that, and let's call that function. So I want to create it in this particular database and schema, and I'm giving a name for my data product. And let's go ahead and create this and sync this with our Snowflake catalog. All right, great. Now let's head back here. Let's see what that looks like. So this is our data product. And as you can see, we have a description for the data product here. We can switch over to columns, see the columns in the data product with the types and the descriptions and the tags. We can head over to data preview and we can see what the data product looks like. Perfect. So Intugle allows you to go from raw fragmented data to a connected semantic model in a matter of minutes. And using this semantic model, you can create awesome data products in a declarative fashion. So join our Discord community if you have any questions. And thanks for watching, and check out Intugle.